today in my backyard, and this is actually Rebecca and Rafi's backyard. And we saw you guys a few weeks ago with the butterflies, and that was really cool, but we thought we'd come back and take a look at Rafi's hive. So Rafi, is this your hive?
Well, these are the beehives.
Yeah. And are there bees inside there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a little window here that you can look at the bees? Can you show me how you open that up?
These.
Yeah, you turn that off. Yeah, and the other side. And then we're going to open that up. And are you going to be able to see the bees?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so much honeycomb.
Yeah?
Come
Look at all of that. Oh my goodness. And did they do that all by themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys are amazing. So, Rebecca, what got you guys interested in bees? Rafi?
This guy.
Really?
Yep. We do the work with the butterflies, and we were reading books, and we picked out a bee book.
Uh-huh.
This is about.
And do you remember what you said?
What?
You said, Mommy, can we have bees? So we talked to Daddy about
I
it,
come see all this honeycomb.
and he
cool.
said, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll find a safe way to do it with him. So he was all for it.
Now look at how close we are to the bees.
Yeah.
And really, now this is something that I would suggest to everybody at home. But
Hey, look
these
at
top
it.
bar hives are really pretty great because,
Don't go around front.
yeah, what you can do is you do have a
Mommy,
window
Mommy,
here
Mommy,
so that you can look at the bees without having to open up the hive. Now we are going to
Look
open up
at
the
that.
hive in a little
It's
bit
like
and
that.
go inside,
Twice.
but this is a great learning experience for any little child, or say there's somebody that doesn't want to lift those heavy Langstroth boxes. This is a great alternative. It is amazing, and you'll hear me say that too many times today, but it is amazing to watch what the bees can do by making the wax through their wax glands. What they do is very, very young bees at a certain age will be able to make wax, and they have these little glands. It's almost like they sweat the wax out, and then what they're able to do, yes, and they crunch it up, and they will chew it and put it into those little shapes that you'll see as the hexagons inside the hive. So it's really, really, again, amazing what these guys can do. They're little machines that can do all kinds of different things. Now what these guys are going to be doing inside is they're going to be making wax, and then the queen is going to be laying eggs, or the bees are going to be bringing in nectar and pollen, which is the bee bread. It's the food for the bees, and those guys are going to just keep this hive growing. So what we're going to do is when we look inside, we're going to see several frames, which they started with nothing. All they started with is a piece of wood, and we're going to look inside and see all of the amazing things that they've done. Okay, so that's 3 amazings or 4 amazings, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll keep going. We're going to go put on our bee equipment and go inside the hive and give you a little bit better view of what the things are that they do. All right, so let's go get our stuff on.
Sounds great.
Wow, so we're going to go inside this top bar hive. Hi, Rafi, how you doing?
Good.
How do you like your little outfit here? Do you feel safe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a screen that you can see the bees.
Open this.
You want to open that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, because your bees are inside?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're going to be in this top bar hive, what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of smoke just to let the bees know that we're going in and just to make sure that they're calm. I think today is a really great day. I don't think that they'll be cranky at all. So we'll just go in and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds
So
good.
we're going to take this off. And where do we usually put this, Rebecca?
I usually put it right back here.
Okay, so we're taking this off. There's no bees that are going to come out.
Take these
Okay.
A
off.
couple on top.
Yeah, just a couple. And the good thing about the top bar hive is that it is pretty much enclosed. There is a back panel here that we can make
wanna
either
get
longer
some
or
of
shorter.
this.
What's that? Can you see them yet?
I want to get what you guys have.
What do
Oh,
we have?
propolis on our gloves.
You're going to get propolis on your gloves very soon.
Like there's some.
Okay, so this is, if you want to show them, Rafi, what that is, that's propolis right there. All that orange stuff on there, the bees made that. Do you know where they get that from?
Well,
They get that, it's on your gloves, look at. They get that from the resin from plants and trees. And they use that to close up any kinds of holes. Are you getting that resin on you?
yeah.
You can hold on to that and it'll get all sticky for you. Yeah. So they use that to close up any holes and things like that. And it's really supposed to be very good for you. Some people will make tinctures out of it. And, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that you can use in a hive. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into the frames and take a look, right?
Yeah, we'll take a look at a couple frames.
All right. So are you going to start from back here?
Yes.
Okay.
I always do.
So you have your tool and I have the smoker. And we use a smoker just to make sure that the bees are nice and calm. It's just to let the bees know that we're going in. So I'm just going to give them a little smoke. Now, when I smoke, I'm not going to put a lot of power on them. I'm just going to smoke gently. So we just did that there. And then Rebecca's going to open up one of the frames. You could hear that little snap. That snap is that propolis again.
I always usually come back here and a bar that I know isn't being built yet, I just kind of take out to give myself a little working room.
Yep, that's great.
Oh, no, don't stick your hands in there, honey pie.
Why?
Because we don't want to hit, if there's comb under here, you don't want to accidentally hit it with your fingers.
The comb that the bees will build on here is very delicate until it's been there for a while.
Delicate.
And then after it hardens, it just gets a little bit more stiff. But when we first take it and look at it, when it's just being drawn, if you were having to turn the frame a little bit, it would fall right off.
So this is bar 14.
Okay.
And you can see.
So look at that cute little piece there. Now that little piece is going to be huge. They're going to cover that entire frame with wax eventually. Okay.
So we'll put that back in, and why don't we take a look at the next one?
Right. So Raffi, what do you like about this hive?
I like to do the bees.
Yes. And do you have names for any of the bees?
I don't think they have any.
No. Yes. So what we're seeing here.
Can I get some?
Yeah. Right here is a piece of comb that was just like the other one that we looked at a few minutes ago. And it's got some nectar in it. And what the bees are doing is they're filling that with nectar. And what nectar is it's like sap. It's honey, eventually.
Yes.
So what they'll do is they'll take the water content out of that by fanning their wings, and eventually they'll cap that over, and that will be honey. So that is comb honey, if you think about it.
Can I have some?
Not yet.
Not
it's not
yet.
ready quite
You have
yet.
to be patient, little grasshopper.
Let's see if we can find
Grasshopper.
some.
Grasshopper.
I'm a grasshopper.
So we'll pull this one, and then maybe we'll do a brood.
Right.
Take a good look at
So
that.
this one you're going to see
Wow,
some honey.
look at all those bees.
I know, it's a lot, isn't it?
Can I
So what
some
we have
honeycomb?
here is we have a couple of drones. We have lots
Can
of
I
nectar.
have some honeycomb?
Not yet. You have to be patient. And then this that you see capped over at the top, that is actually honey because they've reduced the amount of water in that that frame. Now these frames are a lot different than the Langstroth where you can take it and you can move it around and things like that. These frames you want to keep nice and level.
And you can.
And I wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
That's just me. But I've seen too many of these fall off.
Yeah, I try not to do it.
So what I usually try to do is I try to keep it just like that and look at both sides, but you just go very gently. So this one here, let's see what you're seeing on this one. Same kind of thing that I was seeing on the other side. The other side actually has some honey on it. So lots of worker bees. Do you know what, are worker bees boys or girls, Raffi? Do you know?
Yeah.
They're girls. And the drones are little boys.
Yeah.
Yep. And do you know what the worker bees do?
What?
Everything. They make the frames, they make all, not the frames, but they make the foundation, and they take care of the little babies. Oh, nice brush. Very gentle. That's great. Okay. Well, let's go into another frame.
You want to, well, this one's,
Whatever you
wanna
like.
maybe pull a brood?
Sure.
I'm
So
gonna
what we're
see if
doing
I
is
can-
we're going towards the front. Now, what they did in most cases here is they started in the very beginning at like the third or fourth or fifth frame, and now they're drawing back. So eventually, within the next couple of months, you'll have a full hive full of comb and honey and nectar and pollen.
Should be enough.
So Raffi, do you like the taste of honey?
Hey, you dead one.
Oh, there's sometimes a dead one, yeah. We'll put that one out of its misery there. We'll open it up, there. We'll let him go free. Okay. We'll let that one go free.
That's what they do. They kind
Yep.
of poke their little heads out sometimes. Let's see.
If you want to give me the other tool, I'll help you on this side when you get that side too. Because sometimes what you have to be careful of in these hives is that they will attach the comb to the edge, and then it might drop off too.
Well, this one
You were in there the other day?
I went in the other day.
Okay.
That's why I'm using number
feel
4
pretty
because
confident.
this one looked pretty nice. And
I have some propolis on my gloves, don't I?
No, I think it's really black.
It is. It's because I've used my gloves a lot. It's just like the frames.
Do you have bees at home?
I do. Yep.
And I have a beehive like us?
I do. I do.
Ooh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Can I have some honeycomb?
well, this one is brood
This
comb
is where the
honey.
babies live. So what you see in here is little teeny eggs. And oh, there's a bee coming out. What they do is, it's just like a chicken. What they'll do is they'll cut the capping off with their...
I want to see the queen.
Oh, you want to see the queen? Let's see if we can find the
I
queen.
don't think she's on
But
here, honey.
they will, they'll chew it off, and then they'll emerge,
see
and then they're ready
eggs.
to go and start working.
I see
So,
eggs.
do you see? Let's see if we can find one that was coming out. There was one right over here somewhere.
Look, they already came out.
Yes, but there's more, and you'll see more coming out today. See, like that one right there is working on the frame. Beautiful. And I don't.
look,
Oh, there's little larvae in there. They haven't capped over yet.
Look, look.
That's a drone. Do you see the big ones? Those are drones right there. Wow.
Those means
Yep.
the boy.
Let's see.
Can I have some? Look, I got one.
You do?
Look at this guy.
Nice. That's your friend.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He saw me.
Yep.
Look, I got one.
So what do you think,
on
Rebecca?
me.
I think it looks pretty good.
I think it does too. You've got some nice flat capped brood, and that's all worker brood.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you have drone brood or you have worker brood. You want a lot more worker brood,
Well,
but that's beautiful.
I've actually seen less drone brood
Uh-huh.
than, I mean, before there was a lot more drone brood, it seemed. It seems like that's calmed down. There isn't
That's
as
great.
many.
That's great. That's a good sign.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the last time I was in
Can I
here, I
borrow
saw, I did see some
Why?
fresh eggs.
I just
Oh,
wanna
there's
look at
some
them.
eggs.
Yeah. Little teeny eggs, or is it
Little-
larvae?
No, it's little teeny eggs.
Nice. That's even better because that means the queen might be around here.
Yeah.
Can I go into this frame here?
Sure.
Okay. So let me just pull this out a little bit, and then I'll hold that frame, and you can pull this one out
Okay.
because you know your hive better than I do. So I'll just hold this.
I'm still getting to know my hive.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, don't stick your hands there, honey.
There are quite a few drones in here, though. I mean, it's all good. Because the drones actually go out and fertilize queens, but not queens from this hive, queens from other hives. And that's how nature keeps things going.
Oh, I pulled this kind of awkward.
It's okay.
Ah, I'm all sticky.
It's okay. That's all that propolis.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
Gonna get some honeycomb.
I don't see the queen on there yet.
No.
And if we don't find the queen, it's not a big deal because...
No, once I see eggs, I don't really
right.
worry too much.
Yeah, I mean, we're spending actually more time in the hive than a regular beekeeper would need to because
Can I
we're
take
just
photos
exploring.
for a second, Mom?
No, you can't. You can use your bee brush.
Yeah, Rafa, you have a nice bee brush there.
Rafi, can you do me a favor? Can you brush some of these bees down so we can put this top bar back?
Sure.
Over here.
All right. See all the bees over here? You want to just brush that a little bit.
Oh, I did one.
Oh, that's okay. We'll put it, there we go. Okay.
I did one, Mom.
Yep, that's okay. Can you brush these bees over here a little bit so Mom can put the frame back
So, as you know, YouTube can be a beekeeper's friend.
in? It can and it
It can. You
can't.
can see some good and bad habits.
Right,
That's good, Rafi.
right.
That's good. That's
Excellent,
good. All right, that's
excellent.
enough. Whoa.
I'm going to just use the smoker a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay, let me just use the smoker just a little bit to get these guys out. There you
we
go. Okay.
Well, and recently, that's what I saw
Can I
on
try?
a
little
YouTube
bit.
video with Top Bar
Whoops,
Hive.
whoops, right in
As
Mom's
you-
face.
It's
Whew.
okay. As you know, they can be tricky to get back in
Can I
without
try?
I'll give it to you in
without
just a second.
squishing anybody.
Right, especially because these are so close too. I'll get the smoker and just blow
Well, what I
those guys
saw
just a
was
little
is
bit.
if you gently smoke across the top, they'll
They'll move
retreat
down.
back
Right.
in. So I've been trying to work on that a little. And you
Right.
always find bees more active when you're in their brood comb.
Oh, totally.
One on my face.
Well, it's kind of smoky there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet smoke.
Down in there.
But it's a good smoke, isn't it? I'm going to smoke these guys just a little bit to get these guys to move away. It'll make it a little bit easier for you to slide that in. There. And it's almost like, you know those little drawers that you get now that you have the drawer and you push it in and it slides in on its own?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what this is, because it's got a little bit of wax on it. It's got a little bit of propolis. And so it makes it a little nicer to glide right in there.
Away.
Yeah. So what do you think of these guys here? Did you know that drones don't have a stinger? See this little guy here? This is a drone. Let me see if I can grab him.
You got a drone.
Yep, right here. Whoops. There. There. See that big guy? That's a drone. That's a boy bee. Oh, he's going to fly a little. See? Do you want to put him on your hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Put your hand right down. There he is. There's your drone. And those don't have stingers. Oh, he decided he wanted to fly off. See if we can find another one. Here's another one.
The big ones are drones.
Yep, they are. Those are the boy bees. See? That's
Look,
another boy bee right
I
there.
have a drone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
So Rebecca, your
why.
hive looks really, really healthy. This is beautiful.
Now you did for a second.
So it must be the prayer flags?
It must be the prayer flags.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, we really just let them alone and do their thing.
Right.
We haven't been feeding them for a month now.
Right, good. But feeding did encourage them to draw the comb a little bit.
Yes.
So what did you feed them?
We actually did because I didn't have any honey available yet or honeycomb for them.
Yep.
We did sugar water and we did some honeybee healthy in there with the lemongrass and
Yep.
mint. I did plant herbs around the hive, lavender, thyme, chives, and we keep a big stock of lavender in the yard in general because I like it. It's a great plant and
Right.
it's very good for honeybees because we're not currently treating for mites.
That's good. That's good.
But they don't seem to have a mite issue.
No, and you know, a lot of times in the first year, they don't. A lot of times what happens is the mite population increases as the size of the hive increases. So a lot of times that first year, you won't have a big problem with mites. But second year, if your hive makes it through the winter, then that's when you might want to split your hive and
we like
things
to say
that.
when the hive makes it through the winter.
It will. It
Yes.
will. Yeah. No, I've seen several top bar hives make it through the winter, and so I think you're going to be in good shape here.
I think they're doing really well. You know that they're building on 14 bars already. And,
Right.
You know, I'm pretty
What a good helper.
happy about it. And
Yeah.
he's been a great helper. You know, which is fun because
Yeah.
it was his idea. And what we actually had him do was
I got drone me.
Got another drone?
Yeah.
Oh, look at her. Pretty. Very pretty.
he felted honeybees. He made them out of soap and water, felting them
Yeah.
and sold them
Oh,
to
keep that
actually
on her.
pay for his bees.
Uh-huh.
And we said if he raised the money for the bees, that Daddy and I would buy the hive
Yeah.
and the tools and his
Beautiful.
bee suit. So
Beautiful.
it was kind of good to have him involved in that that aspect too.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great family activity that you just have to know what your limitations are.
Yes.
And know your children, know their maturity level and what they can do and what they can't do.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't have him going in and pulling out frames.
No.
But it's great to have him use the brush and wait until he gets ready to extract. The way that you extract these frames is you would take the comb and the honey and put them into a container and take what would be like a potato masher. Crush out all of the honey and then put it through a sieve and then it would drain through and that's how you get your honey.
Okay.
Now a lot of times you will not take honey off from these kinds of hives in the fall because when you have to take that comb out and crush it, that's no more comb for the bees. So what we usually do is with a top bar hive is
spring.
you'll wait until the
Yeah.
spring and then that's when you'll take your honey off. You can always take a little piece of honeycomb. I mean, it's a great way to get honeycomb.
Yes.
And they'll draw it out.
Again.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah. So you have a little bee on your bonnet.
You're silly. But we did prep him
Yep.
with some safety things on
Yep.
how bees behave and taught him to respect them, not fear them.
Uh-huh.
And he has the safety area. If some days we're in the hive, if it's too hot or if he's just not feeling up to it, we have a safety area that he can just let me know he's going, and he can just go until I finish.
That's great. That's great.
So.
Because, you know, a lot of times I'll see people and they'll be swatting the bees and they'll be running away. And what you have to do is just be gentle and quiet and just walk away. And they really don't want to sting you, because what happens when they sting you?
Yeah, they die.
They die. Yeah. So they don't really want to sting you. So we want to be as respectful as we can to the bees. And, you know, it's a partnership.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we can probably get a little bit of these, you know, these bees out of here, put the cover back on, and let them go about their business. Oh, there was a beautiful bee going in with lots of pollen. All right, let's get that cover on.
Okay,
and
may I?
We'll follow up a
We
little
need to
bit.
brush these bees off, honey. Right off the top. Well, we do love to sit on our patio and actually have dinner and just watch them
Isn't it beautiful?
take off and
Yeah.
come back.
And, you know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see the bees coming back in, and especially the drones. Do you want to help me spray? You want to smoke just a little? Good. Get all those bees out of there. Okay, good. Well, let's get that cover on before those bees come back.
Okay.
Does this go in the front?
Well, the one that's chewed on goes in the back, which our dog chewed on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Done?
Done.
Done.
Okay, I'm good
Was
here.
that fun, Raffi?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you like going into the hive? And what, Raffi, what is this here? Is that their water source?
That's your favorite one.
Yeah, and you know why you put rocks in there?
Why?
Because bees don't swim very well. So you put rocks in there so that they have something to stand on when they get their drinks.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. So is there anything that you would say that you would do
Hello?
differently, or
That's it.
something that you would encourage somebody to do if they were going to decide to be a beekeeper?
I really think that it's something you read up on. And I think joining the Beekeepers Association and having that network of just asking other beekeepers, a mentor.
Right.
And
That's
find
huge.
a mentor that's your style. I'm fortunate, I feel I have 2 great mentors. That one is specifically for Top Bar Hive, and the other one is for organic practices.
Right.
And it's been wonderful. Anytime I've had a question, they've helped me through it. And I've really enjoyed it. It's been a learning experience for me as well as Raffi, and learning along with them it's just a lot of enjoyment, and it's right in your own backyard.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to put a television on.
And we're right in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah. And that's
So-
what, you know, that's what people don't realize is, you know, nobody would even know that you had bees here.
No.
If you really think about it, because they just go about their thing. Even though you have all of these herbs in your garden, the bees fly off, because how far do they fly? 3 to 5 miles.
3 to 5 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. You getting warm? I think I'm getting warm too.
Me too.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
thank you again for joining us today in my backyard with Rebecca and Raffi. And if you're interested in more information about how you can become a beekeeper or about the show, just email us. And our email address is inmybackyardch8@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you. So this
Thank
has
you.
been fun. I just love going into beehives anyway. And
It's
you
been
do
great.
have a beautiful hive.
And Raffi, you were great. Thank you.